Debate at 9, powered by Sarah.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a thriller of an evening when we are hoping that, fingers crossed, that fugitive Mehul Choksi is brought back to India. As the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court begins that hearing, what has to today be seen clearly, crystally, is whether India will be able to support the prosecution in Dominica and saying that Mehul Choksi, it's time to return to India. That's debate number one that we're going to be looking at today, and also keeping you ahead of all the hearings that are happening, the countdown in the Supreme Court in Eastern Caribbean, Dominica. Let me also tell you our debate number two. We are going to be showing you ground reports from each state on how India continues to fight COVID. Cases hover around 1 lakh mark. India cannot let the guard down. Republic reporting from the heart of India. And ladies and gentlemen, let's now tell you the headlines today. Dominica government makes its stand clear in the court. They want Mehul Choksi deported back to India. Mehul Choksi represented by a battery of global lawyers as he fights against deportation. Live coverage, latest pictures, ladies and gentlemen, maximum deployment, every courtroom detail. Republic keeps you ahead with unmatched coverage. Republic speaks to Mehul Choksi's wife. She claims her husband has been abducted. Evidence in India's favor. The government sources say Choksi did not relinquish Indian citizenship. And Dominica opposition leader denies accepting bribe from Choksi for favors. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a thriller of an evening as Republic TV has been keeping you ahead with maximum deployment as the East Caribbean Supreme Court starts the hearing in the Mehul Choksi habeas corpus, where Dominica government has made its stand clear. They want Mehul Choksi deported back to India. As the hearing continues, we're going to give you live updates, but also now a report before we go on to this debate.
A battery of lawyers representing Mehul Choksi from different countries are fighting to save him from deportation. Because they know, once deported to India, there will be no escape for this diamantaire who is accused of 13,500 crore scam in Punjab National Bank.
So the authorities entered this morning. They entered just before 9 o'clock, just after 9 o'clock. Proceedings are ongoing. We have heard that Mr. Choksi will not be joining in person. He'll be joining via Zoom. He is currently a patient on the Emory ward of the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, so he will not be here at the High Court in person this morning, but he will, of course, be joining via Zoom.
Indian agencies are ensuring that the prosecutor has a watertight case. A series of documents have been carried by the CBI team in Dominica. Sources say India stands a strong chance because Choksi has not yet relinquished his Indian citizenship.
An application has to be submitted along with the passport. It has to be verified by the MHA, and then a renunciation certificate is issued, following which the citizenship ends. We are told by our sources in the Home Ministry and the Ministry of External Affairs that this process was not followed in the case of Choksi. He did not formally relinquish his Indian passport. India does not allow dual citizenship.
We have challenged this letter only on various legal grounds. That the same gentleman calls Mr. Choksi names and then he becomes the judge, jury, everything, which is not permitted. This is number one. Number two is we say that it is in the nature of having been prejudged. Number three, this letter does not give any details.
For over a week, there have been unanswered questions on how Mehul Choksi landed in Dominica with bruises on his body. His wife firmly believes he was abducted.
From what we don't really know everything, but from what we know is that he was going to pick up someone to go for dinner with. And at that point, he was abducted, taken by that person luring him into a house. And these men came in, bundled him up and tied him up and took him away on a boat.
Yes. We've also heard that there was some mystery woman there, Mrs. Choksi. What was this woman there? What was this woman there? Have you known her? Have you filed a police complaint in this entire incident?
We filed a missing persons complaint when my husband didn't come home on the 23rd. So we searched for him first, and then at about 11:30 we filed a missing persons complaint. And this woman has been, I did not personally know her, but there were other people who did know her, and she had been coming to Antigua and Barbuda since, first time I believe that my husband met her was in August of last year.
The Mehul Choksi saga has caught global attention. Even citizens of Dominica are intrigued.
To be seen, especially happening in my country, Dominica. And the stories that you are hearing, almost like every hour, there is a twist to it. Almost it's like some Netflix or some Hollywood script.
And as India fights for Mehul Choksi, all eyes are on the legal battle in Dominica. Let's debate.
And the hearing in the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court continues. We're going to continue giving you live updates from there. We're also going to introduce my panel before I come across to Vijay Agarwal. Mehul Choksi's lawyer in India, live from Delhi. Let me also introduce and a very good evening to Sardar R.P. Singh, national spokesperson for the BJP. M.R. Venkatesh, political analyst and lawyer, joining us from Chennai. Ishkaran Singh Bhandari, live from Delhi. Swapnil Kothari, senior lawyer, live from Mumbai. Balvinder Singh, former Special Director CBI, Gurmukh Chaudhary, advocate, live from Haryana. Saif Islam, political analyst, also with us, and Manasvi Thapar, political analyst and lawyer, live from Ahmedabad. I welcome all of you on the show, and before I come across to you to understand what is at stake for India when a 13,600 crore PNB scam is at the very heart of why India wants to get Mehul Choksi back, let me go across to Vijay Agarwal, lawyer for Mehul Choksi. Mr. Agarwal, my first question, there seems to have started a political face-off in the island nations thanks to Mehul Choksi. Whether it's in Antigua, where the leader of opposition is now defending himself, or in Dominica, where the leader of opposition is trying to defend Mehul Choksi, so as to say, what is really happening in the island nations? Has there been any quid pro quo or any such things that have happened or occurred between Mehul Choksi and these leaders?
See, when you yourself are using the word rhythm opposite, two opposites have to argue opposite to each other. When I appear in the court and there is an opposite lawyer from the other side, so he has to argue opposite. So same is with the politicians. So the two opposite parties, they can never have a consensus. So of course, both of them will play the different tunes. But we have to see from the, for your viewers have to understand this logic, that Mr. Mehul Choksi had no reason to flee Antigua on his own. His legal strategy was going fine. And I see on various channels, though your channel is very well researched, on various channels, people are coming and giving gyan without knowing anything. Please be clear of some facts. Mr. Mehul Choksi holds Antiguan passport. He is Antiguan citizen. In India, there is no dual citizenship permitted. So the moment he took the citizenship of Antigua as per section 9(1), he, by operation of law, ceased to be the citizen of India. Some people are talking about section 9, subsection 2. I have a difference of opinion. Section 9, subsection 2 says that in order to determine whether a person is a citizen of other country or not, government of India may make rules. In this case, there is no controversy regarding the same. So Mr. Mehul Choksi was in his legal safe haven. So why would a person whom you say is so intelligent that who could cheat India of so much money and who can conspire, who can cheat. So that means India acknowledges him to be a very, very intelligent person who can take the agencies, RBI, everyone for a ride. So he would only be a fool if he leaves his legal heaven, because in there we had the two stays. Then the question arises that if he wanted to leave Antigua and go to Dominica, why would he leave Antiguan passport home? Because they say from there he wanted to go to Cuba. So this is opposed to common sense. Secondly, why would his family immediately raise a hue and cry and make a complaint? Otherwise, they could have waited. After months only, people would know that the Mr. Mehul Choksi is not there. Then the injuries on the face everywhere is there on this man. So why would so these are the on the face injury, on the eye injury can never be a self-inflicted injury. So we can all be guessing, we can all be calling names, and it is a fashion that you appear for a person who's on the wrong side of the law, and then the people question you, and it is fashionable to come and shout at their voice that no, he's looted the country. I've had this experience in 2G case. When I signed, people said, oh, 1,80,000 crores. And the very first day I said that I have studied the case, there is nothing in the case, and it resulted in acquittal. Very sure, you've seen this, how much was the heat in the case? There was an acquittal. You've seen how much the heat was there in this Goa rape case. There is an acquittal.
Mr. Agarwal, the only difference, Mr. Agarwal, I interrupt you to only tell you, this is not the Arushi case. This is also not the 2G case, both of which I have met you in. You are one of India's top criminal lawyers. I bow to that. However, when you say in this case, there is a similar, I would like to say the Nirav Modi conviction that is happening in the Westminster Magistrates Court is happening on similar grounds, where he's prima facie found guilty of money laundering, where he's prima facie found guilty of siphoning of funds on the very same basis that Mehul Choksi is also being looked for. So are you trying to tell me that Mehul Choksi has run away from India, tried to give away our Indian citizenship, which the MEA sources tell us continues not to be renounced by him, and has done no wrong?
See, you made 3 points. Firstly, let me tell you, Nirav Modi has not been convicted in UK. They have only found that prima facie India has some case which he should go and face. He has not been convicted, number one. Number two is that Mr. Mehul
I agree. Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Mehul Choksi has always offered that he can join the investigation on a video conferencing, and because of his medical condition, he cannot travel for 14 hours. So, and he also offered that if he is permitted to be treated in Miami, then he can get well and then he can fly to India. So, in view of the same, to call names, and we see what is our Indian legal system. It is not adversarial in nature. We have the proper rule of law here, and a person is presumed to be innocent till found guilty. See, here in the Bofors case, government fell. In 2G case, government fell. And then what happened? Now, please tell me, the same way people were called names, there was much more heat. The amount was much more. People were called names. I mean, this already, I mean, the history is repeating itself. This I'm facing after good 11 years. In 2010, I used to face such questions. They say that, oh, they have looted the country, this, that, everything. And now everyone is honorably acquitted. So a person should be given this chance. And moreover, let me tell you one more thing. Saying that Mr. Mehul Choksi is fugitive is wrong. There is a stay operating. Saying that Mehul Choksi ran away is again incorrect, a fact. Because when Mehul Choksi left India, he was Mr. Clean. He was a celebrated citizen here. People were dying for his friendship. When he left, there was no case on him. He has been doing conferences with the bankers. Moreover, in Antigua, when you take citizen, they seek a report from India. India sent a report that we have no objection if this man is given the citizenship. And once you talk about your MEA sources, we have to go by the law. What is written in the print is what matters more. So it is not some ration card which is required to be returned. And on one side, they say that we have revoked the passport. So then it is a piece of toilet paper. So they say that, oh, no, passport is not returned. If it is revoked, then of what use it is? that document. So there is no such requirement in law. But see, this is not the forum. And see here, we are not getting even paid for it. So please see that we will all argue in court. But in order for your viewers to understand, let me give these facts. All right.
All right, lawyer, top criminal lawyer and lawyer for Mehul Choksi, valiantly trying to ensure that he is not deported back and also that he's possibly not going to be found guilty. I thank you for being with us. I also want to now go across to my other guests who continue to be with us and ask similar questions to them when it comes to Mehul Choksi and what is at stake for India here. And I'm going to take this question first. Swapnil Kothari, you'd spoken earlier when you had spoken about Section 9, subsection 2, which Vijay Agarwal was talking about. Today, I spoke to certain people and they also spoke to us when they've told us within the government that the Indian side has still not revoked the citizenship. Does that matter when India is trying so hard to get Mehul Choksi back to India?
Well, absolutely, Rhythm. There is no question about it. Mr. Agarwal's interpretation of Section 9, subsection 2 is, appropriate interpretation because he's holding Mr. Choksi's brief. But looking at it objectively, and as far as this law as settled law is, that subsection 2 of Section 9 clearly empowers and mandates the central government, which is a prescribed authority, to take a final call as to whether a person has renounced his citizenship or not, whether they have cancelled his citizenship. Revocation of the passport does not mean that his citizenship has been cancelled. So that is where Mr. Agarwal needs to know that subtle difference between the two. Those are entirely separate things. Citizenship Act is a superior act to that of the Passports Act. So, as far as this point is concerned, this is where I most vehemently but most respectfully disagree with Mr. Agarwal. Now, as far as the aspect of taking that final call is concerned, the central government, as I said, especially in criminal proceedings, the central government has that prerogative and that final discretion which even the courts cannot step in. Simply because, look at it, Rhythm, look at it very objectively and from a common sense perspective. Any person will create a scam of 5,000 crores, escape India and say, Article 9 of the Constitution and Section 9 of the Citizenship Act tells me that if I take up the citizenship of another country by investment the way I did it in Antigua, my citizenship is completely gone in India. So I am not a citizen of India and I don't have to come back and face the Indian law. How convenient that is and how absurd that is. So that, any court of law, whether
that's what I'm going to ask,
or even from looking at the Comedy of Nations and international law, this is not done. This is absurd theory. It's not going to work.
That's what I want to ask Sardar RP Singh. RP Singh, what is India? India's very clearly sent a CBI team. We are being valiantly understood by the Dominican prosecution that has today said he should be deported back to India. What is the Indian government, which understands what a high stakes matter this is, what is the Indian government going to do to ensure that this becomes a reality now, RP Singh?
See, Rhythm, since the matter is still in court right now and then proceeding is still happening, I would not like to speak much on this, but one thing is very clear, or what Mr. Swapnil was saying, that what can be more absurd than this, the logic which has been put, that I steal money, I do a dacoity on a bank, and then go to another place and say, okay, I'm leaving your citizenship and I'm giving you the money which I've got by a loot, which I have procured by looting the country or a bank, and now I'm depositing this money to you, so let me be your citizen. And probably this is the reason that Antiguan government has said that we have come to know the real facts now, and then that's why we are revoking the citizenship also. And then so is Dominican government saying that there are enough documents with the Dominican government which categorically states, which has been provided to the Indian government, which categorically states that he is a fugitive, Indian fugitive, and who has done a fraud of many thousand crore rupees, who need to be brought to country, who need to be brought to India, and then need to put under trial here. So I'm very hopeful that courts will consider this, And since both our governments are putting a point of view which helps us to get the fugitive back, so I'm hopeful that this will happen now. And then by
Yes.
some more hour, probably another hour or two,
Yes, absolutely.
we'll have good news.
Yes, good news indeed. We keep our fingers crossed. Let me also go across to Rhonda Luke live from Dominica, who's been reporting, keeping us ahead. Viewers, we have the maximum team of people reporting live from Dominica and Antigua. Let me go across to Rhonda. Rhonda, if you can give us an update about what's happening in the East Caribbean Supreme Court as that hearing continues right now.
Of course, yes, we are live outside of the High Court of Justice here in Dominica, where Mr. Choksi matter is being heard. Like we heard it earlier on from reporters inside of the court, the government side is arguing that he should be sent back to India, which many opposition party supporters are saying that it comes as no surprise given the government of Dominica's relationship with the government of India. So this seems like no surprise to many who are observing this case. And of course, we're hearing that Mr. Choksi lawyers, what they're saying is that given the short period, only 3 hours that they had to prepare this case, that this case should continue on. They're also saying that this case is of great public interest. The public is very invested in this matter. So to have it struck off, which is what the government side, Mr. Lennox Lawrence, is arguing, this will be totally unjust. So this is what we're hearing right now. We're waiting in a few minutes' time. Possibly they may take a break for lunch. So hopefully if that happens, we can have the reporter Ronaldo, who is inside, who's been following this case since 9 a.m. this morning. That's 9 a.m. local time, 6:30 India time. Since this morning, she's been following this matter. So hopefully we can have her out to get a synopsis as to what happened within that span of about 4 hours, what's been going on inside of Dominica's court.
Indeed. Indeed, Rhonda, thank you for that quick update because it's been nearly 4 hours. Balwinder Singh, I want to come across to you. What a marathon hearing in the East Caribbean Supreme Court that continues hearing that plea where India has been valiantly supported by the Dominica prosecution that says he should be deported back. Balwinder Singh, you've been a former special director of the CBI. The CBI goes today well armed with all the details that they have, whether it's the PMLA order, whether it's the Westminster Magistrate Court order, whether it's the international red corner notice, that's Interpol notices that are continuously with them, whether it's affidavits. We are very clear we have a watertight case before Dominica, which will support us like Rhonda's telling us. What do you think are the things that will continuously go in our favor in such a high stakes matter where we've also seen, Balwinder Singh, the island nations also have some sort of a political face-off that has begun there?
Rhythm, I had some audio problem. I'm not able to hear the discussion, but yes, I know that you have asked me to speak and give my comments. We have a large number of cases in the past where, leave aside Indian nationals, even foreign nationals could be deported to India as long as we could prima facie prove that a crime has been committed in India. We had a case where one of the nationals from one of the European nations committed a crime in Goa. He was involved in a drug-related crime, and he went away to one of the Latin American countries. We got a red corner notice issued. He was taken into custody by that country, by their immigration authorities, and was deported to India. He was not an Indian national. So the issue of whether Choksi is an Indian national today or not, though relevant, is not the crucial point. The real thing is, has he committed a crime? And in this case, he has committed an economic crime in India while he was an Indian national. And he is a fugitive. He has absconded. So there's no reason why he should not get deported. We have a very strong case on legal grounds and also on the principles of natural justice and fair play. It is absurd that somebody can escape from here and claim that he is no longer an Indian national and stay back and avoid law here. I don't think international justice system and cooperation can function in that manner. So Dominican Republic will definitely, I can't say definitely, but we have a good chance of getting him deported. I have also seen from the media reports that Antiguan authorities are not against it. So given that situation, we have a strong case that we will be getting Choksi in India.
Absolutely. I also want to go across to MR Venkatesh. MR Venkatesh, let's just tell our viewers the shots on the screen are live that we are getting from Dominica, the East Caribbean Supreme Court. And MR Venkatesh, I ask you a question. This is also going to try and understand the political things that have been happening there. In a statement last week, Dominica's Interior Minister said it will repatriate Choksi to Antigua once details on the citizenship are ascertained. Now, Gaston Brown has maintained he will not accept Choksi back. He's also said there's an Indian plane that has reached Dominica to get Choksi. The Antiguan and Barbuda's opposition United Progressive Party accused Brown of disregarding the law. The leader of opposition of Dominica, Lennox Linton, has also been accused. He has targeted Prime Minister of Dominica, Roosevelt Skerritt, over the alleged abduction of Choksi. There seems to be accusation and counter-accusation in the island nations, but there seems to have something to do with Choksi's brother also, who allegedly has said to have given certain amount of paybacks or money to a leader of opposition in Dominica. What is really happening there?
Okay, to answer that question, let me first put in my viewpoints on as a lawyer. Now see, the citizenship of several of these African, Caribbean countries is available if you park 5,000 crores, $1 billion, what have you. And if you take Mr. Vijay Agarwal's legal contention to a logical scheme of things, for 15,000 crores or 20,000 crores, probably these countries will make you ambassador into India. And you can not only loot India, get a citizenship from a country outside of India, you can also get an ambassadorship into India, and you can be in India with all diplomatic immunity, tax-free. Is that what the interpretation of 9.2 and 9.1 going to take us? Obviously not. This is not the way law is structured. I think I would go with Mr. Swapnil Kothari and others who have very clearly distinguished between 9.1 and 9.2. But the real question, what is interesting, is how did Mr. Mehul Choksi land up in Dominica? I think I distinctly remember a book. Unfortunately, I'm in Chennai, my library is closed. There is a book on Mossad and how they have used women and how they have honey-trapped their victims to come to a place and where they have held them captive or did whatever to them. The way Dominican politics is playing out, the way the local politics is playing out, I see a distinct hand of Indian government in the whole episode. And if it is pulled off to a logical conclusion, I think India would have arrived at the international scene in getting fugitives. I only pray that they succeed and they get it. So what is happening in Dominican Republic in terms of its internal politics is a manifestation of India's influence, whether it is your vaccine Maitri or whether it is something else. But the way Indian government has been acting, I think I salute them. I can sense that this was an operation orchestrated by the Indian government, that Mr. Choksi did not on his own volition go. He was lured, he was pulled into Dominica, and the Dominican government was very much aware that any moment probably Mr. Choksi could land in, and that is how things are moving so fast. And having come this far, I would put my money on betting that Mr. Choksi will be deported from Dominica to India.
Wonderful words there, MR Venkatesh, and it's an interesting interpretation. I also have Syed Aslam Gurmukh Chaudhary wanting to reply here. All right, go ahead, Syed Aslam.
Sir, I just want to tell Mr. Venkatesh, BJP has taken the reign of power in 2014. Again, they came back with a thumping majority in 2019 with a promise that they will bring back the economic offenders, the fugitive economic offenders. It's been 7 years. We have not got a single fugitive back. Fugitive economic offenders. This is an act as well. So let me also tell you, there is Nirav Modi is not back, Lalit Modi is not back, Mehul Choksi is not back, Vijay Mallya. What happened to all this? There are lakhs of crores which have been siphoned by these guys. They can just go to a safe haven. They take the money. They do the money laundering. They cheat the people of India. They cheat the government of India, and they can run away to some other country. And you still do a hollow promises. BJP has done hollow promises in 2014 and 2019 again. Not a single fugitive has been brought back. They also made tall claims of bringing back the black money. Not a single penny is brought back to India. Right? And also let me tell you, Mr. Venkatesh, let's hear it very loud and clear. Today, the NPAs of banks, the RBI has already given a statement. The NPA stands at 13.5%. The RBI has also given a prediction that by September this year, the NPA will go to 14.8%.
Sir,
we have not got a single penny.
With all due respect to my counterparts in the debate, the BJP government has not taken a single step since 2018 to bring back Mehul Choksi until this date, until this fiasco debacle happened in Dominica.
The government has done.
In fact, the BJP government even gave the police clearance which facilitated his citizenship in Antigua. It was given by the BJP government in 2019, a clearance certificate which facilitated the citizenship of Mehul Choksi in Antigua. That was given by this government. Mr. Modi doing a favor to his capitalist friends, crony capitalist friends. So it should not be construed that BJP is trying hard to bring back Mehul Choksi. It's Dominica which is trying to send him back, and BJP is welcoming him. Otherwise, there was no possible way in which Mehul Choksi would have been sent back to India.
Why would Dominica do that?
That's nonsense.
Why would Dominica do that?
Why would Dominica do that?
Why would Dominica government do that? Or why would Antigua government change the stance?
Why not?
And also, I mean, do you remember?
He's a fugitive.
Anderson. Do you remember Mr. Anderson? Sir, do you remember? Do you remember Mr. Anderson? Sir, do you remember Mr. Anderson? Union Carbide. A special chartered plane was sent by Rajiv Gandhi to help
Why
him to go.
would Dominica not send him back when he's a fugitive?
Sir, do you remember Anderson? Sir, do you know Christian Michel?
What happens to the diplomatic pressure?
And who was helping Christian Michel?
What happens to the diplomatic pressure?
Sir, you tell me of
and the PM being the
BJP spokesperson. You tell me of one single step. Tell me of a single step taken by BJP government since 2018 to bring back Mehul Choksi. Until this day, tell me, please.
Congress lawyer named Aljo K. Joseph, who was helping Christian Michel. Who told Aljo K. Joseph to help Christian Michel?
Okay, I have one question that I want to ask here, and then you can continue deporting. You can continue, I was saying deporting. That's what's on the minds right now. You can all continue debating, but I want to ask you, Ishkaran. Gurmukh Chaudhary, points being made, the point's been made, understood the point it's made. Isn't this a high stakes matter when the QC of former AG of Antigua, Justin Simon, and QC John Carrington of Antigua are joining via Zoom to argue for Mehul Choksi? Do we not think that there is something politically that has to be done here and has to be done? Hasn't India gone all out that the CBI team is there to support Dominica's prosecution and is saying Choksi remains an Indian citizen as he has not completed the renunciation process? Ishkar.
Rhythm, a couple of points here. I will not repeat the citizenship point because that has already been covered. But what is interesting is that the prosecution in Dominica is saying that Choksi be sent back to India. That does show that his defense of what Mr. Agarwal was saying, that he is kidnapped, is false. Otherwise, the police investigation, which is briefing the prosecution in Dominica, would have come to a conclusion that he has been kidnapped. That means he was either on a honey trip, or you become overconfident and you step out, or whatever happened, but he has been caught. Now to the second point of what is the Indian government doing. Let us be clear. Nirav Modi, 7 times his bail has been rejected. It is not very easy to keep somebody in jail in London. You have to have ironclad case for that to have happened. There the bail law is very different, as you know well, much more liberal than the bail law in India. Second aspect, Vijay Mallya, he has lost in multiple courts. there are some so-called secret proceedings or diplomatic proceedings going on. So there also they have won. Third case, Christian Mickle from Dubai has come back to India. Fourth point here, if the Dominican government wants to send him back, that is because the pressure of or the diplomacy of the Indian government. And when you have Antiguan Prime Minister saying he also doesn't want him to come back, that is the diplomatic win. What the court decides, I do not know. But in all these cases that we have cited, at least on this aspect, Indian government has kept the pressure up. We have gone from an age where Warren Anderson was escorted to a flight and given a send-off to a case where a Nirav Modi is in the jail of London, where a case Vijay Mallya is running and has lost in courts. A case where, if you go by MR's version, he is either being kidnapped. That is a very gung-ho operation. I do not think Indian government would have done a Mossad-style operation, though I would be happy as a lawyer. It is illegal. I do not think Indian government would have done it. But even without it, Indian government is trying its best to get him back. So on all these cases, they have done a lot. And people who do not see that are refusing to see the facts.
It's been 7 years, my friend.
Yes, and Ishkaran, I think you've spoken extremely well. Manasvi, as you speak, I just want to tell our viewers, you are on Republic TV. Republic TV has been doing investigations for the longest time in Vijay Mallya, economic offenders like Mehul Choksi and Nirav Modi. I have personally seen the kind of watertight case that has been prepared by the CBI and the ED in the Vijay Mallya case. It is not easy, like Ishkaran is saying, to get these people back because we are in a UK court and international court. We are in the Dominica court, so our documents need to be that much more crisper and finer. We are in the Westminster Magistrates Court when we are trying to get Nirav back and his bail has been umpteen number of times refused. So Manasvi, before you come across with an argument, to only give us one piece of argument that this is a government that is not doing enough. This is not about governments anymore. This is about people's money. This is about 13,600 crore loot that has been done by Nirav and Mehul, and it's time to bring them back, Manasvi. And when the government is there trying with complete affidavits that I have personally seen trying to get him back, is it not time to understand that a high stakes matter like this needs to have all of us united?
Rhythm, very well said. I think Mr. Agarwal laid his point very well, that he was a celebrity before he left. Definitely he was a celebrity. That is why the Prime Minister office called him in 2015. That is why in 2016, when a whistleblower named Mr. Hari Prasad wrote a letter to the Prime Minister office that there is a huge scam which is coming up in the name of Gitanjali Gems, owned by Mehul Choksi and his Nirav Modi are going to create a scam in India. At that time, the Prime Minister office sat on those papers and did nothing. And they forwarded this particular letter to the ROC of Mumbai. And after that, what did the ROC Mumbai do? They closed everything. They did not do anything. And 2018, we saw the pictures of Nirav Modi, a future fugitive, with the Prime Minister. Now the question here is, obviously the Antiguan government, the Dominican government are supporting India on the stand of deporting a fugitive who have made sure that the trust in the public banks, the trust of the people of India is lost. But somehow the law of the Act of 1955 is preventing a fugitive to go back, to come back to India. So now the point what remains is the laxity of the government was very much seen. While he was leaving the country, they could not prevent his leaving from the country. Now when he's coming back, it is the duty, and the government is doing whatever it should do. But giving them all the brownie points, the government has done everything good for this nation and they are trying to bring back the fugitives. The laws are tough, the laws are difficult. We are not in a position to give any kind of brownie points to the government. And Mr. Venkatesh went a step ahead, that the government planned a honey trap for the fugitive Mehul Choksi to come back to India. All these are just theories which have no practical experience or exposure. But the reality is the Dominican court is definitely going to bring back give an order in the favor of the Indian government. But the point is the laxity of the government of India from 2016 to 2021 is very much there. And that is why the fugitives are still free, and we need to act on what we say in the political and the government domain.
Here, Manasvi. M.R. Venkatesh, while two of the people who've spoken up here say there's been laxity, they also hope he'll be brought back. There are still some unanswered questions that we need to know. Why was the leader of opposition of Dominica present in the hearings? There are media reports that had earlier refuted that said that he had been bribed by Mehul Choksi's brother. He was present in the hearing today. Who is the mystery woman? What was her role here? Even as Antigua and Barbados Prime Minister Gaston Brown said that the beleaguered businessman may have taken his girlfriend to Dominica on a romantic trip and he got caught. Mehul Choksi's lawyer says the mystery women abducted him. What could be the real answers to these unanswered questions is also remaining here. M.R. Venkatesh.
Yeah, absolutely, I have no two issues. That there was a mysterious hand of some very powerful force that brought him from Antigua to Dominica. That's no two opinions about it. My conjecture, I will still bear it out, despite all the learned brothers of mine almost ridiculing me. But I will tell you, this has happened in the past. This has happened with Mossad. This has happened with CIA. Honey trap is a very common thing to get out, to lure the fugitives into a place where you can get them into a place of leveraging them into whatever way you want it. That's how I see it. Now, the real issue is, as India played footsie with them, as the NDA government played footsie with them, has it been lax or has it gone after them? Now let us assume today that I am somebody who has defrauded banks. Now tomorrow I flee this country. Now so-and-so will come on your channel and say, why did you invite Mr. M.R. Venkatesh? He has flown. Do you see my Kundali? Did you see my antecedents and did you do a due diligence on me? On a show, nobody can do a due diligence.
What about the police clearance certificate?
No, sir, sir,
Please
sir,
don't.
I will tell you.
Please
Will you have the guts to listen? In that case, Mr. Modi should not meet Rahul Gandhi, who is an accused in the National Herald case, and he must resign from the Lok Sabha. And both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi must.
Similarly, like Mr. Modi is guilty of killing thousands of people in this pandemic due to negligence and abdication of duty. Similarly, Mr. Modi should be held liable for killing thousands of people in this pandemic. Can you say that on record?
Sir,
that there has been medical negligence, that there has been abdication of duty.
You will clear out what? I will tell you, both Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi must surrender their passports, and they should not be allowed to go out of the country.
Whatever you want to say, go on. They are not in power. They are not the government. Mr. Modi is the government. Not a single step has been taken since 2018. What are you saying?
What do you mean?
No, not at all. I completely disagree.
What nonsense
this
are you
is wrong.
talking? Are you out of your mind? Have you had a peg too many?
Mr. Venkatesh, you
This
are
is
out of your
idiotic.
mind. Let me
Are
tell
you
you very, very
suggesting nobody
clearly.
should put
By
more?
saying this, you are defending
Not at
the
all, sir.
fugitive.
I completely disagree.
You don't have a mind. I will be out of my mind. You don't have a mind.
Is your BJP
I think you're
government-
Stop supporting the government for the acts they did not commit. Stop that. Stop it. Stop
Sonia
it.
Gandhi
Stop.
behind bars. What nonsense!
What are you saying?
Don't expose yourself like this on
Not a single step has been taken. Not a single step has been taken since 2018, sir. With all due respect.
How do you know? Then
what about the clearance certificate? Why was the clearance certificate given by the government of India to Antigua to facilitate the passport and citizenship of Mehul Choksi?
At that time there was no FIR.
Why was a no objection certificate given? You tell me. Answer me, please. Please answer me. Why was a police clearance certificate given to Mehul Choksi by the Indian government in 2017? Please answer. I beg you to answer.
Yes.
Please answer.
Answer me. Why? I beg you to answer. Why did Rajiv Gandhi allow Anderson to flee? Your party has got a
they are
wonderful
gone.
track record of
Rajiv Gandhi is not the
escorting
prime minister.
Your party
Rahul Gandhi is not the prime minister. Sonia Gandhi is not the prime minister. It's Narendra Modi who facilitated Mehul Choksi's citizenship in 2019. Accept that. Accept that. Accept that.
Sir, you please tell me. You please
Sir,
tell me
accept that,
what was on record.
Have the guts to accept that you facilitated his passport.
You accept that, then you also accept.
Why did the government facilitate and gave a no clearance, no objection certificate to the Antiguan government in 2019? Please answer.
Gandhi should not be allowed to flee this country. Rahul Gandhi should not be allowed. Same way,
Nobody is fleeing. It's Mehul Choksi who has flown. It's Mehul Choksi, the crony capitalist friend of Mr. Modi, has fled the nation. And it's not Rahul Gandhi.
Questions that are important here.
Sonia Gandhi will not flee the country. How do you know?
I want to go across to other important questions here. Why Mehul Choksi needs to be brought back? Why is it so important? India. We need to understand that. We need to go back to 2018 and remember the PNB scam. We need to enlighten and explain to our viewers Mehul Choksi needs to be dragged back because the charges that he is facing are extremely serious. We also remember how at that time he organized racket to cheat customers and to lenders in India, Dubai and the US, including financial institutions, had been cheated by him by dealing in lab-grown diamonds and selling them off as real diamonds. I also remember Mehul Choksi needs to be dragged back to India when the ED had alleged that Mehul Choksi diverted over 3,250 crore rupees defrauding from a PNB branch in Mumbai by inflating prices of precious metals. And lastly, Swapnil, I also remember Mehul Choksi needs to be dragged back because not only was investigation by Indian authorities has to be probed, but also the US bankruptcy court had alleged that Choksi's US firm Samuel's Jewelers had owned by Gitanjali firms at that time had sold lab-grown diamonds. These are just some of the reasons Swapnil Mehul needs to be dragged back. It doesn't matter whether it's happening because of Dominica, whether it's happening because of India supporting Dominica, Dominica supporting India, Swapnil. The fact is, Mehul, India wants you back.
No, Ridham, you're missing on one more thing.
Yes, Ridham, the result is what matters ultimately at the end of the day. And, as far as this particular point is concerned, he's needed back for all the reasons that you mentioned. There is no question that he was involved in this scam. Now, Ridham, in as much as, my learned panelists pointed out that, Dominica is most likely to send back, I have a slight difference of opinion here. There are two theories. One is that you believe the Interpol notice, and which is credible, of course. You say that he's an absconder. He's not a declared fugitive yet. And he is ran here away from this country. Regardless of the clearance certificate, he's gone away. He's established his citizenship in Antigua by investment. And he is a man on the run, and that's the reason why he needs to be sent back. That's argument number one. The other flip side to that argument is that the Dominican court could say at the end of the day, regardless of the political jousting and regardless of the diplomatic channels and regardless of India's power as a diplomatic power, it can say that, look, this is an issue between Antigua and India. Both of you people sort this out. We don't want to step into this. We also want to maintain good relations with our neighbor Antigua, and at the same time we don't want to spoil relations with India. So what we are going to do is, as a court of law, we are going to leave the decision to the Dominican authorities, saying that, look, either you wish to deport them back to Antigua or deport to India. I, as an Indian citizen, would love if we are able to prevail by customary international law, which I would have argued also, saying that he needs to be deported back to India. But let us not be fanciful about it. There is a solid chance that he can be deported back to Antigua, where he came from. Obviously, the fact is he was never abducted. That's a theory which I don't believe at all. Correct. It is a complete concoction and fabrication, because more so it's an afterthought by his lawyers, simply because in the
I just want to Swapnil give you a breaking news alert that's coming in.
He never said that he claimed abduction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to give you a breaking news update that's coming in from the courts there. The hearing is over in the case of Mehul Choksi, and the judge is now writing the order in her chambers. So the breaking news update, anytime now we are going to get an update from the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court on what the judge has said. She is now writing the orders in her chambers. The hearing is over. Sardar R.P. Singh, you also wanted to make a point before I had read out why he needs to be dragged back to India.
Scheme of Mr. Chidambaram, which was launched just before they were winding up their government, May 2014. And Mehul Choksi's company was one of the 7 companies which were beneficiary of that scheme. And then they made huge money out of that scheme. And there's a huge tax game for Indian taxpayer money, on Indian taxpayers' money. So we can't miss on that.
Yes. Yes, very, very relevant points. And as we are waiting for this, Swapnil and R.P. Singh are making these important points. Balvinder Singh, I want to ask you one more important issue. We are hearing that the plane has already landed in Dominica. We've also seen the CBI team headed by the DIGs already present. There are 4 Indians who are also present, who were present inside the hearing, a marathon hearing that went on for 4 hours in the East Caribbean Supreme Court. The CBI team is extremely confident because of the evidence they have. You've said earlier also an extradition of this type has happened. We've also seen in the Abu Salem case how the extradition happened very successfully. We're hoping it happens this time. The kind of evidence that India has against Mehul Choksi, do you think it's possible that today the Supreme Court, the East Caribbean Supreme Court, the ECSC gives an order in our favor?
There's an echo. I am not able to hear properly. But if the question is, what is the likelihood of getting him extradited? You know, as Swapnil Kothari pointed out, I think it will again depend on, of course, we presume that judiciary is independent there. But I think diplomatic channels, how much pressure they put, also can play a role. And as far as law is concerned, whether a person is a citizen or not a citizen of India is a subsidiary question. Whether he has committed a crime in India, there is no doubt about it. We have a very strong case of his having committed a crime. If the court is looking at whether there's a case for deporting him to India, as I told you, there are a number of cases in which foreign nationals have been deported to India. So I find no reason on the grounds of principles of natural justice, fair play, that such a person who has committed a heinous crime, a very big economic offense, a big scam, and there's a documentary evidence with regard to that. It is not a case based on oral evidence. There's a complete trail of money available. And it's a crime in both the countries. That is one of the conditions for any extradition, that it should be a crime in both the countries. Cheating, misappropriation is a crime in all the countries. So there's no reason why he should not be deported as far as principles of natural justice are concerned.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so as all of you are saying this, let me also tell our viewers that as we continue waiting for that order, the moment that order is out and if it's being dictated, if it's been reserved, we shall get you the update. But our fingers are crossed. No matter how, we are hoping that an extradition or deportation of Mehul Choksi happens. If it happens tonight, it will be fantastic good news for India, and we shall have the person who was at the very heart of the PNB 13,600 crore scam. We're all hoping that happens. It doesn't matter that there's a political face-off in the island nations. What matters is India's put its best foot forward to get Mehul Choksi back. I thank all of you for being a part of the debate today. And viewers, as we thank you for also watching this, we also tell you what's up ahead. Ahead, we show you reports from all across India, each state, and tell you how we're faring on COVID. We give you details about how India continues step by step to fight COVID. Stay on with us as we're back with that after a short break.